nice time. He seems a lovely, lovely man. I'm not talking about halflings again, McNaughton. I'll just get into trouble with the people that love halflings. That poor, desperate little sub-race of blood bowls.
Oh yeah, you oh, good thing somebody did clip your rant against flings. We have it somewhere. Yeah, he's playing a lot. It's good. Yep, and our game is up. So after that little shenanigans of CTL with way too high Dark Elves now, we are ready for some Rebel Clan. It's the first game in the round for us guys. I'm playing. What? I'm playing at 6 UTC tonight. I think there should be a prize to the first game, to the first team that actually end up beating us. It looks like Wamp are starting in defense. Oh. So Elliot is playing Rats, which is pretty top-heavy Rats, with with a one-turner, 85 one-turner, and 2 Killy Stormwormens, and then nothing really else. Two Skeletor God Runners. Playing against a vampire team that's pretty spread out. Oh, PC dropped me. So it's well, the Whams is like 2 skills, 2 skills, 2 skills, but not really. But a lot of team value because of the 4 vampires and the 4 rerolls and the 15 players. Oh, he's back. Maybe he's back. His account is back. It's assassinated by a fling. I bet you. Oh, I should. Oh, skip. Ah, stop it. Pylon doing its thing. I should do a Rebel clan streaming. It's elegant. Oh. Fucking hell. What's this team? So I'm getting rid of 2. Up. Rolls the 1, doesn't care. Don't think it's on range of any of the. There's no plus movement. It doesn't look like there's any inducement as I can see. I don't think there was any inducements. So yeah, it doesn't look like it. 5 rerolls for the Whams, nothing there. Doesn't look like there's any star players. Oh, a Trell. Okay. So the Trell, the loner Trell is the inducement. So yeah, an extra piece to get hit. Yeah, trying to get into those 2, I would imagine. Is he trying again? Or is it... He's trying again. And this time it's a 4+ because he's in attacking zone. He really wanted to hit that one with Mighty Blow. I'm not sure it's worth it. Woofbark is still playing. He redecided to not leave. He was... yeah. Some things changed and Woofbark is back. So I don't have to be a leader as well, which is great. I don't know why he doesn't... yeah. But I guess that had been Mighty Blow knocking out that Mr. Punch. I'm glad as well. I will be really annoyed if he... not annoyed, but I would be sad if he'd been gone. The subscribe icon. But Cyberknight is out, and Wayne Fair is back again on the Reds. Yeah, it would be really shame if that had pushed him out of ReBBL and by that plan. He really don't want to gaze today. But I'll sure Judy is still getting stomped on. Come on, Rep. Oh, even better. Too bad there's no jump up. Moving in there. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going for the Wamp. Doesn't get him. Only 3 roll. We still early, so no reason to do anything about that.
So I disappeared because we've recently moved to Virgin Internet, which has been great. It's been lightning fast. Now they've got a, a lovely cable right to my door.
Yeah.
So 95% of the time I have wonderful internet.
And the last 5%, nothing.
I have nothing at all. We recently had a 5-hour outage. I had 2 children wanting to just kill me. Because of course it's my fault.
I could imagine.
I broke the internet as far as both them and my wife were concerned.
Yeah, it's I'm never actually. I was about to say my experience with Virgin is slightly slim. My replacement flight home from Texas was with Virgin Atlantic, which was pretty crap. I was flying Singapore Airlines the other way, which was amazing good compared to. Let's put it that way.
Singapore rock, don't they? That's fantastic as an airline.
Even on even on I was about to say the monkey class, but whatever. But in the low classes, it was brilliant, especially to Virgin Atlantic. So it changed from a nice-looking flight with new equipment and nice people to being on a Virgin Atlantic flight with angry stewardesses that clearly doesn't want to be there and angry British people. It was quite a change of scenery. Yeah,
You've got to stop giving me too many easy things here, because first of all, there's Core had slim experience with virgins.
Virgin.
And then there's Core thinks of lower class people as monkeys. I mean, it's just, you're giving me 2 easy shots here.
I was one of them. Yeah, those Virgin Atlantic was pretty crap. But to be fair, it was the only flight out of US I could find, I could get on. So I was just happy getting home. And meanwhile, we were playing some Rebel Clan.
Yeah, I'm just loading it in.
How much do you know about Rebel Clan?
Ooh. Very little. I mean, I've heard of Rebel, obviously. I mean, obviously that's a fantastic long-lived league. I am on Reddit, so I do sometimes pop in and have a little look at what's going on the Reddit and on the Rebel Reddit subreddit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rebel Clan isn't a format of that I know anything about at all.
Okay, so it's hosted by Rebel, so a lot of the coaches is the same coaches. It's 5-man, so it's 5 coaches,
right.
Team tournament instead. With the games being drafted, so the clan leaders is one team is putting one forward and getting matched by the other team.
Right.
And then the other team puts one forward and that one again, and then the last 2 games is decided by the one putting his team out first. Gets to then set game 4 and 5.
Okay, so there's some fairness in how the matchups are generated. That's cool.
I
mean, I love me some Team Blood Bowl. I think it's a whole. I mean, I'm on record as saying I love all the different varieties of Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
And Team Blood Bowl really brings a whole new aspect again.
So that's definitely interesting. So there's something with which team you put out when and how you deal around it. Which races and then of course for each there's Rebel Clan in the moment there's a Division 1 and there's 1 Division 1, 2 Division 2s and 2 Division 3s, and the overall team has a budget like in American football and stuff like that. And the budget gets bigger the higher up you get.
Cool.
There's also some like pre and post draft. There's like some power so you can switch your matchup and other stuff during the season.
Right. And is it progression? I mean, do SPPs count?
So it's progression during the season. So you count, and that's why teams are different.
Sure.
And then when the season ends, then the star player points people are getting sent the last skill gets into a big pool on your team, and then you can pay some money to get to skill up some of the players that's close to skill up from the next. If your player is closer to a skill than the other way, you can get to skill it up, but it costs a bit of tax. So there's quite a lot of rules surrounding it.
Sounds intricate, complex, and the sort of thing. I mean, I know some theory bowlers that would spend hours then poring over, all 5 of their clan's teams and working out exactly where the 2% advantage is if we do this or do that. To some people, that's their definition of fun, and I'm glad they exist.
Yeah, we have a couple of those types as well, including I'm the type to find that interesting as well. So when the different teams, there's like a tax on playing the really good best teams, and AJ teams like Amazons is not particularly high rated. So there's different teams is costing different things, and in general we are gone with. So we're playing Skaven on the Bretonians, Amazons, and humans. So in general we're going for. Besides undead, we're going for the lower bracket teams
to get top tier ones
to get more skills instead.
Sure.
For the same.
A lot of what people would call the intermediate teams there, with Amazons and humans, able to hurt any elf you come across, but having to elf it against the real bash.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's a goodbye to Judy.
Elyod is your clanmate, I would presume.
Yes.
And a fantastic Blood Bowl player.
See you, Rex, and take care and say hello to your better half as well. Your girlfriend. Let's use the American term. Yeah, so he's my clanmate, and he just lost a really good storm moment. I'll save it both.
Yeah, that's a very skilled up player that just got deaded.
Yes. Oh, yeah, he's been out and in. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. It's the wrong button. Did I may have deep volume you too much. Let me try again. So yeah, that's a really good player. He used the apple to save the other Storm Women, which is the better of the 2 Storm Women's.
Right.
It's, to be fair, with his team, it's not the worst thing in the world, because with an 85 natural 1-turner, a wizard is a good thing as well.
Yeah. And if you can keep that 1-turner safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You'll also see right now he's just wait. If the vampire wants anything, he needs to come to him, because those rat can just run to the middle line and then score the next turn.
Yes, it's a lovely, well, the Dakar it's often called, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's there are teams that really want to stretch that pitch out because they've got the speed and the agility to get wherever on the pitch they want to be, either in a cage or a screen, or just move the whole pitch in 2 turns. And of course, Vampire's very, very strong, very capable, but not the fastest. If they come for those gutters, it's easy to get round and past them. And if they stay in the backfield, you can advance late with your rerolls in hand and do some wonder guttering.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's even more when you have 85. Sprint, your feet, movement 10.
Yeah. Yes, very hard to stop.
And because of he actually have taken out 3 vampires as well, so he cannot really cover the whole field. Even he can barely not cover the whole line of scrimmage either. So, but it's interesting. Second half, another thing that changed until this season, you couldn't play draws in ReBBL. You were playing overtime overtime where if you defended the kicks, if you didn't get the ball, but if the opponent getting the ball didn't score, you will win on that win-win. But this season we have draws, so that's a new thing as well.
Okay.
Which hopefully should be fine for us because we should be able to not lose many games.
Yep.
So if somebody just one or two can win, it should be alright.
Yeah, someone once asked me that I was being scouted for a team that to play some Blood Bowl tabletop, and said one of the things I'd heard is that you might struggle if someone said this is a game we want you to draw. And I thought in Team Blood Bowl, that's all about the team. The team comes first, not the individual coach. As long as no one ever asks me to lose, then I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
No, that's interesting. It's also interesting knowing sometimes that you have to try to win, even if you're not in a great position. Where in a single tournament, you will probably just hunker down for the draw, where you might be asked to actually try to win the game anyway.
Yep. Yes, I mean on the podcast we've talked about going to tabletop tournaments where people have the red and yellow card system, which is interesting. If you think you're going to lose, you put the red card up. If you think you're going to draw, you put a yellow card up. If you think you're going to win, you put the white card up. And that way the team can glance down the tables and instantly see what the team position is and what they might have to do.
Yeah.
Without the captain actually having to take a break from his game, wander down and whispering in people's ears, I need a draw or I need a win out of you.
Yeah, I think it's like in ReBBL, it's also getting more and more common. People actually have a 9th player just for the same reason. So you don't have the coach doesn't have to concentrate about that and playing because you're in a state
just coaching, just supporting,
and just looking at how it's going.
Yeah. Of course, you can't coach.
No,
you can't actually advise, but you can advise as to the position of the
games and
the
what
tide.
Yes, the tide of the stuff and how it's looking. I think in one of the years in Denmark for ReBBL, we were using not even just red and blue card. We had I think it was four poker chips each. So that way signal how secure it was on top of it.
Sure.
But we had a coach at the same time. So it was just to make it easier for him without having to ask people, which is annoying as well.
Yes, because sometimes you just don't want someone talking in your ear when you're trying to focus on what's happening. I think there's someone did raise the point, probably me, that it would be fun if you did have those cards to just sit down and even before the game starts, put your white card up saying, I'm going to win this one.
Yeah, it's but to be fair, some of us will just start with that card as default. Oh,
yeah,
another.
I'm with you. I talk a big game about psychological impact on the opponent, but really I try and play nice. Yeah. And I do think it's disrespectful to say early in the game, I'm going to win this one. Because it's Blood Bowl. But you just don't know.
You never know, but to be fair, a lot of times you'll still it's still Blood Bowl, so there's still odds for going one way and another way before it starts.
Another rookie line rat gone. That's a movement bust as well.
Yeah, that's what it is. We don't care about. Yeah. That's a rat life, literally.
Absolutely, that's what they're for. I mean, it's kind of sweet that the vampires are spending this much effort on the rats in their backfield, which I'm not considering that relevant to how or if the rats plan to score.
No, not at all. They've been there for the same reason.
We talked about this on our last cast, didn't we? That sometimes when someone pulls something in your backfield, it's fine to ignore it. If you know they're not going to hand off to it, they're not going to try to pass to it. Dare them to try that 4+4+ or whatever it is.
Oh, like he's double marking that line rat that's never going to do anything.
No. It's creating much less equity up in the midfield where the rats are going to try and assault reasonably soon. That's where I'd want my my +strength vampire, but your mileage may vary.
Yeah. And especially vampires, where the problem is going there is the hypnotic gaze makes it still dangerous. But he probably needs to next turn. I don't think Movement Bust is going to retire him.
No, that's a line of scrimmage rat, isn't it?
Strings Bust and AV Bust I don't like. But AT and Movement, they can just be dummies.
A warm body to take the hits. Now that's some really interesting position from the rats where they've pushed up to. Again, it means if the vampires advance on them, they're going to get caught the wrong side of the line in scrimmage, with the rats getting a lot of space to get in behind them.
But he's put them just in range if he wanted to.
Exactly. Just in range. But not where you can get around the side or the back. You can get up there, but you can get up there in a formation that won't be ideal even if you choose to. That's the sort of play that, I mean, I doubt there's many noobs watching this feed. But if you are, that's some cracking positional play right there. That's a really, really good way to hone that advantage. Make sure that what you plan to do, you're in a great position to do.
And the dice log looks absolutely funny because he didn't roll any dice at all. So, yeah.
Again, punching that irrelevant rat, of course that makes some sense, but surely that vampire's got to advance up now.
And was that really what you needed to do first, though? Do a blockless block in the backfield. That is all. Yeah, it's been a bit harsh for the poor rats. We lost Judy, a really good Stormwoman, is dead. And Mr. Punch got a apode.
So the rats' key hitters are both off the pitch, one never to return.
Which means more likely to get a whistle. Which means more likely to get a wizard the rest of the season.
Which, with some nice developed gutters, is a hell of a tool to have.
That's bad. So it's turn 7, so he needs to go to the middle line now. But those two, it's a shame that the one turner doesn't have sidestep as well.
It is, but it has so many lovely skills that, how many do you want on it?
Ideally, we wanted to get 100 star player points more. But it's hard because
eventually that'll happen.
Nah, not necessarily because of the way it works with the project thing. So if it needs to get closer to 176 than to where it is now in 76 in the 9 games in the season. Because
right, and then you can look to push it up, can you?
Yeah, but you need to get it up to, what is that, 126, and then you need to have the star player points needed to push it the rest of the way as well. And Hati, thank you so much for your follow. Much appreciated. So it's not really that likely. Hey, Tom Schnitzel. Yeah, he killed Judy is dead. And Tom Schnitzel is leader. He's definitely playing. I think he's fan leader from one of the other Division 1 clans. Yep. So Judy is dead. May she rest in... Oh, we're actually playing you guys next. May she rest in peace. So he's trying to make it as awkward as possible to hit a one-turner. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I think you need to put the other... Make sure both... I think you need to put the block gutter run up in front somewhere.
Yeah. Yes, I definitely want a better screen on that.
Yeah, it's coming with a go thread in that, I think. To make it the same screen on both sides. Make it a higher screen on that side as well.
Yeah.
So there's more people you need to gaze if you want to get around it. Because you want to hit... Right now, it's not unlikely the wrestle's trial is the biggest threat.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see him go up that side, but I guess it's away from the majority of the vampires.
The vampires, yeah, so they need to move over and gaze. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What he actually could have done, if he hadn't put up the the rat up here first, he could actually have done with a free reroll. He could have tried the 2 dodges to go for it to attack the wrestle.
Yeah.
I know why you put it up first before anything else, is just to make sure you get it up.
Yes, it had to get into range, didn't it? Nice and safe, because otherwise, no score.
Yeah, but I was talking about the line rat, the kick line, the standing with string 4 and kick up in the top.
Right.
That one could actually have reached the wrestle on 2 dodges to go for it.
Oh, yeah, no, I've just done that maths, you're right.
Which I have not hated, but the problem was then you will have to do it last. Which will mean it was not necessarily going to happen with the go for it, could have been snakes.
Yeah, but he's got the rerolls to have a try.
Yeah, I think it's been worth trying the dodge, and if you don't get if you use the reroll on the first dodge, you can just put it back in.
Yeah. Again, we're seeing that very early hit. Here comes the Hypno Cheat again, I'd have thought.
Yep, so you can, oh, that's a huge one.
Oof, yeah.
He might reroll that because that's the easiest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a snakes!
Let it go, so. Oh, dear. I mean, the wrestler can get there, but it's got a dodge, and with the rerolls gone, I might have accepted the one and used the reroll on dodging the wrestler around instead.
4, 5, 6, go, yeah.
But then it would be a 3+.
No, he didn't. Oh, sorry. It's because he accepted. It's just the sound that cheated me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've just pulled up the. I'm not as used to the client as you. I've just pulled it up and checked. No, it was. He has accepted the fail.
Yep.
And of course, he has got another vampire that can come in and try it. So he'll probably have another go. Yeah, there we are.
And that works.
And that's why Hypno Cheat is just so awful.
But again, it's interesting which direction he's putting. Oh, he's.
Wow,
I'm not done going for. That's only. Why? Gets the POW. I don't like that play.
Yeah, no.
That's the bolt retrieval piece as well.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about this before. Too many people using up too many pieces before the ball hit, frightened of not getting them in the positions they want, but then not able to do much once they have hit the ball down.
He might foul that one turner now, though. And of course, he makes the 3+3+. I don't understand that.
This is a mess for the rats, though.
I understood. Like the only reason it makes sense to blitz with the vampire was going for the 3 dice. If you have 2 dice, then there's better odds with the wrestle.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard to give yourself 3 dice there if you wanted.
And then, okay.
And frankly, the equity that's been used afterwards, Okay, but he has developed a scoring option, so I guess that's a defense for that play, but I still think that guy could have run down there and you could still have got 3 dice easily. simply by moving the thrall that moved into the mess of rats first, and then putting the rest on the edge to give yourself 3 dice.
I'm not sure. He's going for the 2 dice uphill. I'm not sure. I've taken the. Personally, I've gone for the 1 dice instead of marking his bolt scoring 12. But that's.
It's asking for a lot, isn't it?
But it's a perfect scatter.
Yep, the strip ball worked.
And then now the block just needs to get him down in the end zone, and then strength 5 needs to come for the rescue. So, yeah. Still I like to do the 1 dice instead. But.
And knowing rats, this is still very much a scoring opportunity. But he still has to be careful of that thrall and the possibility of being 1-0 down with the ball in the vampire's hands.
Shit! Sorry. Yeah. No, it's me. He doesn't have a downless. In my head, that it has a downless scroll, dude. So it makes sense. Sorry. No, you're right.
I just assumed that as normal you knew more than I did.
No, I was just assuming her downless. I don't know why. Because it will be quite normal. Oh. And now it's a 2+2+. Come on, little rats. Why? Oh. Oh, you can handoff. Oh, you got a sure feed, so of course you can just do that. And the handoff fails. Oh. So the pass had worked. What is actually? So that's 4, 2 plus
5, 6. What's back there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's 85. So
I mean, this is still possible for the vampires.
I'm just wondering if the 2+2+ naked would have been better.
I think having sure feet. I mean, there was always the option of bailing out and doing the throw if the sure feet popped, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's just wondering.
So I'd love to samber it. Perhaps I will do exactly that.
No, it's slightly
3-2+
better.
Sure feet.
It's slightly.
Okay.
It's like 3%
You're
better
already
doing.
sambering it.
Yeah. It's so close to being the same. If you have the team. Yeah, but you need to pass as well. So it's 2+2+ with no rerolls versus 4 times 2+ with a reroll on the 3 first. I think.
And it's always, people look at Samba and it's really interesting what the Samba stats say. But there's also the fail state.
Yeah.
What does the fail state look like? And passing it on a raw 2+, that fail would have been much easier for the vampires to scoop up.
Yeah.
So that fail state is enough to make me think that, having 2 rats there when you do the handoff to make the scoop up harder is probably better.
Yeah, and that's
if
2
the
tanks.
percentages on the odds are a little bit tight.
I'm pretty sure, Scroll Dudes, that it's not 2+2+ naked is like 69. Without rerolls. Where it's like 72 because of the. Yeah, that's the thing. If you had a team reroll.
Yeah, the team reroll already popped. And as I said, when it's within a couple of percent, then sometimes to me the fail state becomes as important.
And yeah, also the fact of you could hopefully drop it longer down.
Yeah.
And it was a can't scatter not going out. So it was at least good in. The 5 in 8 was at least with us. But less than ideal now.
So 0-0 at the half, down a key hitter, lots of vampires.
But again, mission is keeping 2 gutter runners safe.
Yeah.
The one turn and the sure hands, if you can keep them safe, then you hopefully can at least get a draw.
Oh yes, is it a natural? Yes, it is, isn't it? 10
Yep.
and then sure feet and sprint.
And 85 just to make it even harder, so you cannot just backline it. It's still just 2 pluses.
Well, firstly, to create some variety, and secondly, because I utterly despise naturals. I'm now on the vampire side.
That's fair. I don't like them either. But for winning games, they're good.
Yes, they are. That's why I utterly despise them. I mean, even when people were ranting about Clawpom constantly, and I know it's still here on BB2, but even back 4 or 5 years ago, before the rules changed, and it was the most common rant, of course, was how overpowered Clawpom was. I used to say, if I had one choice, I'd still take natural one-turners out of the game.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't mind one-turning if you have to do some fun pushing, or if you've thrown a teammate, then it's absolutely fine with me.
Yeah, but that's natural one-turning is bad.
It's just tedious.
I don't particularly like +2 of. That's like anything +2. I don't particularly like. I don't like string 5 elves either.
No,
That's
I'm the
just
same.
wrong. It's.
I mean, if I was writing the rules, and I'm not, and I know nothing about the rules that may or may not be being written at the moment, but if I was, I would have we've already said that, no stat can go above 10. I would say no player can move more than 10. So if you've got move 9, you can only do 1 go for it. If you've got move 8, you can do 2. If you've got move 10, you can't do go for it. And I think that would, cap movement at 10. So that way, to do a 1-turn, you've got to get 3 pushes. And I think that makes it more skillful and more interesting if someone's done it.
I can pretty safe see the core rules is probably not getting written at the moment.
Well, no one knows these things. It's a mystery.
I still think it's wrong. It's not stopping me from taking it because string 5, having a string 5 werewolf is still fun. I still find this wrong from a game design perspective. It's not going to stop it. I do have
absolutely stole. You'd have to rebalance elsewhere as well. If you change anything, you change everything. That's the problem with Blood Bowl. So yeah, you'd have to have either cheaper gutters or they'd have to have something else, because at the moment for rats, 1-turning is a real key thing. But with sidestep and pushing, still getting those 3 extra spaces, which, my suggested rule would make them need, it's still very, very possible. In fact, on NAF, we see it happen all the time.
Yeah, and also on Fumble I have a strength 585 Dark Elf Blitzer. I'm not complaining about how useful he is.
Yes, I mean, I just played a Fumble Major game. If you've been on the stream long enough, you heard me talk about that. And because I had an absolutely nightmare game the round before, I used something I had that I'd been given years ago called a potion, which basically removed a missing player and meant I could use him again. Didn't heal any injuries because he didn't have any, but it just took the missing away. And obviously my opponent wasn't crazy about that and said if it was up to him, you wouldn't be able to use tricks like that in majors. And I agree. But as you are allowed to, I used it. Doesn't mean I think it's right, but it means it was available to me.
And yes, Skaven is a weird combination of having access to everything. That's kind of wrong.
Yes, but their linemen are in some ways terrible.
Yes, but they're also terrible cheap, so you can easily afford a lot of them compared to a lot of other teams.
Yeah, it's having a pack, isn't it, and not caring about them. And yet another team that really, really benefits from D3 MVP.
Yeah, so you can avoid skills on the lineman besides that dirty player 2 you won on your 16th.
Absolutely.
Skaven team.
And you can build up your Storm Vermin quickly and reliably without having to do vanity passes.
Wood Elves.
Wood Elves, the other cheaty team.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi,
Shunter.
Crystal. Shunter.
Another of the JMEN. So meanwhile, we've been trying to talk, or at least now the vampires has the ball on the leader route, which seems like a sensible place. He also needed to use the leader reroll to get it. Oh. Yes, he does. He has wrestle stripper. It was the dude stripping the ball free before.
Oh, that's
What's that?
that's interesting for the drive. Thinning the thralls out is always fun.
Yeah, and it was a blank line red as well. He used it on.
Yeah, it seemed to. I mean, I get it. He was up equity, but he's not anymore. So to get even more, I know why it tempted him, but it's not the sort of thing I'd be fouling.
And yes, Hardy. I just that's like a fast guide to how you do the icon switching. If you agree with some of us that letters are easier than those bloody icons. Yeah, me too. I didn't like that.
No, I wasn't crazy.
Like, especially because, like, Elliot has some players he really wants to foul if he could get a chance to. Not that line red.
Yeah, well, and that was a DP that he used, wasn't it? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it was his 30 player as well that gone out.
No, it was his dirty player. I'd be saving that for something I really wanted to kick in the face.
Let's put it away. That's 2 players you rather want to kick. Yep, killer on Natty. Yeah, why is his kick foul on the play on the? If I was Elliot, I'm hitting that kick player now to get it, hopefully get it out before turn 16.
Before one turning at the end if I need to, yeah.
Yeah, that seems like he didn't really look. That's quite often when you don't really care. Just use the players you had in last drive without looking.
Yes, to once again quote my favourite Ian Banks book, and if you don't read Ian Banks, you should. The Ian M. Banks book, Use of Weapons. It's all about the use of weapons. What weapons do you want available and when and how?
And one thing is he has the kick player, but why is the kick player in front and 2 random thralls in the back?
Yeah, it's
a slightly bizarre setup.
And it's often why people get the rage. They say it's the dice. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's that you know your opposite opponent is doing suboptimal things, but they're working out just fine. And that can be really hard to live with, really hard to settle down. Above all else, protect the one turner.
Oh, he's thinking. He's going all in. And he got the kick. That's so deserved.
Now that is fully deserved.
So now dirty
justice done.
Dirty players out, so you can pile on the kick player that suddenly was in range. Oh my god!
It's a weird set of choices from the vampires, and it should cost them. But of course, it's Blood Bowl, so it might not. He's still got his Apoth. Would you have Apoth the kick, knowing it's a key threat?
Oh. Ooh.
Hard to do, isn't it, when you've
Yeah.
got nice pieces you want to keep safe? And a lot of vampire coaches will make sure they save the apothecary for one of their vampires. Yeah, I know thralls don't get apoth, but I'm too wedded to the win, aren't I? That's the problem.
And to be fair, like I'm seeing bit if my game is close to being a game, I'm echoing something I know that what I'm playing Resurrection style if there's any chance I can win the game. Cause pieces die anyway.
That's because you're a munchkin and you'll do anything to win.
I will. If the game hangs in the balance, I'm happy to play it Resurrection style where it's more important winning than keep it as.
Again, I'm sure we've lost most casual watchers to the Andy Devo stream, but if you are watching, I think playing tabletop or playing Resurrection is a great way to up your risk management skills and choices. You soon learn in NAF style on tabletop that some of the things you perhaps would never do in a progression team or a long-lived league, suddenly that 3+ isn't as bad as it looked. And if it's going to win the game or change the match around, it's nice to do.
Yeah, Shanzer, you're right. If it's early in the round, I'm happy to throw anything against defense to win the game. But because this is a team, there's definitely reasons for not throwing everything against the fence in a team format with progression. No, that would be bad. And he do have still 3. Oh, he's actually down to 3 rerolls. Yeah, leader used his himself on picking up the ball. Another reason. Oh. I don't know why you take reason. You're welcome to go watch Diva. You can say hello from me.
Diva's a great player and a good streamer.
I don't know, but we know each other very well. We should have played Euro Open together this year if it wasn't been postponed a year. So it's a good friend of mine. So I'm absolutely happy to people watching him.
Yes, wasn't it you, him, and Podfree?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous lineup to take to any competition. 3 of the finest Blood Bowl minds currently playing the game. 3 of the greatest tabletop players with the highest rankings.
At least it was. Diva slipped a bit down. I think he's just trying to get more assists to fouling the killer. That's what that's looked like to me. It's nothing about. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. That has to be the plan here, doesn't it? He's looking at another foul on the killer. At a foul on the killer, so.
It's a kill bill foul with the ball carrier and everything.
Well, if you're going to go for it, go for it.
But how many? He can fail that. And
Yes.
then it's straight up hit on the ball carrier.
Yeah. And he's also left a lot of access to that cage.
That's just what happened.
Yeah.
You've
got other options too. You can push the ball out of the cage for a hit from the side.
You can do all the things in the world. I'll probably take it.
Lots of options here.
I'll probably be tempted just to take it anyway. But,
I'll take the 1 die on the ball, or try and push it out first. I mean, it would be a 1 die to push it out, so that's. And anyway, you can push it. You're still only getting 1 die. It's got to be killer to the ball, hasn't it? Mr. Punch. I think we're going to see some punching.
But need to activate some line rats, which is fine.
Yeah, just to cancel the odd tackle zone here and there. He won't mind that.
I have no clue what SoulOfDragnFire. I don't know that coach as well.
No, it's a new name on me, but then a lot of the ones over on this format are to me. Elliot, of course, I know from his streaming. Oh, beautiful squirrel, dude. Thank you for that.
Oh, but okay, that's... I guess... Then you can one dice it into two dice?
Yeah.
Can you that? Can you?
No, because surely you have to... Well, no, you
There's
could pop
him
another
missing
thing
a
in to do
guard.
some cancelling.
He's kind of missing a guard to make this easy.
You don't have to activate that hypno-cheated rat at this point. There's other things you could drop in there to cancel the tackle zones.
And you can just do the uphill, which versus strip ball, but that's...
But instead of the one die, I mean, there's the vampire around the back making it a -2 no matter what you do, isn't there? So I do think that might have been suboptimal. I liked just the straight one die.
Yeah, that seems a bit...
Plus, it could have been done so early in the turn that it left you a lot of recovery options as well.
Yeah, I think he's not even going that direction. I think he's going with the strip ball now.
Yeah, he's coming around the outside, isn't he? Like a buffalo girl coming around the outside.
But he can push it back to the other line red, which is fine. And now the vampire goes into that into the mix as well. So it's a good angle.
Yeah.
But that's a bad angle of the scatter. But
Oof.
better.
Yeah.
But getting it back out? Nope, nope, it's going in.
Roulette. Where's the roulette ending?
Oh, on a 6 on a vampire.
It doesn't go down.
Oh. It may help the scatter option, but...
Yeah. I think I'd have been carrying on a vampire anyway, but my forays into vampire coaching have not been massively successful, so I probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about there.
Oh my god, so instead it ends on a blotcher vampire. Are you dodging the strip ball out to the side of the line? So you can block the leader if you needed to, potentially.
It's a 4+ out, isn't it?
3+. There's only one tackle zone. I think I'll use the last move to get it longer down. You need it next turn.
3+, 2+. Yes, I would be then. Right, I think that's the return of my son, who's been out bike riding in stormy weather, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah. Come on, kill the vampire. Kill the vampire! Yeah, I think he picked it up with the leader to think he could keep the leader safe. And then the leader used his own reroll to... Yeah, now there's some free chain pushing. Oh, thank God for only 3 minutes turns, not 4 minutes turn, because this will take all the time. Up. Reroll gone. I'm not crazy about that direction. But I guess if you don't follow, it's alright. One dice, no. One dice to push the vampire into scoring range. Yeah. But it's still going to be easy 2 dice. And there's no problem, and as well, there's no Thrall that can go with him.
Yes, this is the sort of position where, as vampires, you probably do need to think: is there any way I can just bail out of this drive and get the score?
Yeah,
Because
he could have gone for the. He actually had a 1 dice team boost to push it in range. If that wrestle had been hitting first, then he could have pushed him in range.
right,
It had been 2 go for it. That's not out of range from a strip ball.
that's not out of range of anything. There's a whole pack of rats that are going to come and
And
monster
now
out.
it is definitely not. He will take the both down, surely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Can Elliot get his tackle piece free, though? Not sure with that pow coming in.
Yeah, that's going to make it trickier. But he's got 3 rats easily that can get there, and a 4th that isn't that difficult to help it get there.
Yeah.
I think we could see 2 dice on this with the strip ball.
Strip ball is all the way up there.
Oh no, the strip ball's all the way up there, isn't it? Yeah.
So you might as well just do it with a line rat, I guess. No, that's too. Yeah, you can do it with a line rat easily enough. The question if you could even, if you stand strip ball up, you can even do a cheeky block on a stone vermin. Hit the stone vermin to free up an extra line rat.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, to get the 4 that you might want there. But then if you don't go with a gutter hit, you don't need 4. 3 will do.
But he needs stone vermin, rightly so, wants to punch somebody anyway.
Yes, yes, of course.
But look like
it's got a 2 die already at the moment, hasn't it, on a thrall?
yeah, no, that's no assist, is there?
Oh no, because now that he's moved that, if that gutter had just stood, he would
Yeah,
have
but
done.
he's doing the same just without
Yeah, he's
getting.
got it this way instead. Horrible dice.
That's what it is. I don't think he's too unhappy if the vampire ends up scoring. It's cheeky 1-2 blitz with the block with the 1-2, and now you have block anyway. Yeah, I think you wanted him down there anyway, and because of the wrestle, it was free to move it. I think it's
It gets it more back into the action in case there isn't a score this turn, or in case the ball is still around and there to be taken.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I just letting him. You kind of need that gutter runner down beneath the other gutter runner.
Yes, and someone touching the vampire, keeping it honest.
Oh, it's block dodge. Diving tackle is DT. Yeah, he needs to back up that. Agreed. Otherwise, this is literally just a...
Yeah, that's a nice place for that rat.
That's not really doing much.
Oof.
1, 2,
Yeah, that one.
3, 4, 5. The only it does is if he rolls both down on the block, he needs to make a go for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, do you do the 1 in 9 dodge here, giving you 2 dice and needing no go for it, or do you do the 1 in 36 dodge, but perhaps need a go for it if it's say a both down that takes out the gutter?
I would say to go for it.
Yeah, obviously. It was a slightly rhetorical question.
The only reason is, of course, he's already down to 2 rerolls.
That's a
declare
confusing
the
choice.
ability. Yeah.
Why do you start with a pointless block up there? I don't understand.
Maybe he's not going to score. Yeah, I like the idea of just screening off and running down behind. If you run it around backwards, he'll be in. You
build a pocket and run the ball back a bit and look to score later. That
would
make
be
sense.
fine.
You don't want to give the rat that long, really, do you? But then with a natural 1-turner, you know that's if you're not scoring, surely hitting that's the priority.
And you can get 3 dice with a mighty blow on it. That must be a tempting option as well.
Has to be.
Try to go for the win with dodging backward and then going for the mighty blow hit.
Yeah, and then smacking the 1-turner with everything you've got.
I will definitely be tempted. Because just scoring Elliot will just try to score straight back with the 1-turner.
Yeah, and then a blitz or a misfield, and suddenly you could be losing this game.
Yeah. The vampire's thinking for all the marbles.
Is this 3-minute turns or 2?
3. Oh, she's going... What the... So he's going a Hypnogaze, so he's going 2+2+ instead?
Okay, yeah.
But then you're not blitzing anybody. I don't understand this.
Confusing.
And you cannot bite your own vampire, so it's not really helping.
And you could have blitzed just as easily there, and it would still have been a 2+ on any kind of push. So you convinced we're going to see just a straight natural here?
I will do that.
And go 1-1. Right, then I'm going to go and do something else for a couple of minutes, because I don't need to feel ill right now. What's the rest of your clan? So it's you, Elyod.
Crystal Hunter is playing humans. I'm playing Amazons. Woofbark is playing Undead. And Waynefarer, you probably don't know, is playing Bretonians.
No, I've heard of Waynefarer.
Oh, you've seen the name at least on Discord.
Yes, but that's about it. I can't say I'm acquainted with his game particularly. There's a lot of quality there in the JMEN team.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Not as absurdly overpowered as your
No,
3-man Eurobowl team was.
no, it's
But then, how are you not in a national team, Core? How does that happen?
it's a long story. It's a long story we can make really short. Is that I don't. For me, Blood Bowl is a community thing. So I didn't.
Yeah,
After I moved from, I've been in the UK for 3 years now. So I felt wrong taking up a spot in the Danish team.
sure. No, that makes sense. That's very honourable of you.
And I kind of feel like even with the World Cup, it will be a bit soonish to try to go for the English team. And I kind of
Sure.
wanted to be in a Euroball playing something else, like for the statement of it, instead
Right.
of just
Yeah.
going straight over. And then I had a talk in Wales with over lunch with Andy, which is playing for Wales, but didn't really feel Wales, so he was starting to feel bad about that as well. And Pottery has, like there's a lot of policies, but feels a little bit outside the English team as well. So we were kind of three people, not really
Yeah, I
feeling
I
we
can
had
understand that.
a home.
I have to say, at someone else's invitation, I did have a look at the qualification criteria for the English team, and I'm not prepared to jump through that many hoops, set myself on fire, run around 3 times, and call Mary just to end up on a team that doesn't seem to really want new people to join it.
And to be fair, they have a new. That's every Euroball. There've been actually at least one player that's been new capped to the team.
Okay.
But it is 8, so it's a lot. But it's because of the 6 of them has been the same most years.
Yeah, and I mean, that sounded very negative of me. They're also a very settled squad that know each other, know each other's game and weaknesses, and hence are very, very strong as a team. And I respect that.
This is a. Let's see how he tries to stop the one time. If it does. If he
But,
does.
I mean, just like any Danish team without you sounds a little weaker to me. Any British team without Podfrey, I think, should be trying to find him a space.
Yeah, but that's the problem as well. Is it's a lot of people and you need to spend a long weekend together. So it also have. That's a lot of things that it's not only just coaching ability.
Sure. And I thought Diva was proper Welsh.
He's not.
Uh,
He's not. He's not proper Wells. He got attracted to her. Divo, I was about to say, contracted him to help them win the hosting rights.
right.
It's not when Wells suited him. It was Wells when it suited Wales. That's some decent. There's some decent guys in Netherlands, but it is. I would say he was probably a closer to the English team a couple of seasons ago than he is right now. But it's hard to say.
I'm just popping off for a couple of minutes, Core. I will be back, hopefully.
Yep. Cool. I'm trying to figure out if the vampire knows what he's want to do and not do. Eurobowl. is because we have something called ReBBL, which is 8-man teams, which is actually being open for teams outside of Europe now as well. So oh, that's an ugly 1 in 9. Ooh. Give him the ball now. Oof. And when you move around, you block the vampire. Are you still doing it? I think you are. Maybe not, maybe. Yeah. And another one. Up. Vampires. Yeah, that. Oh, McNaughton, you should know Hardy. I think if you go to the NAF's ranking side and filter on France, I think 2 of the entries in top 5 is it's going to be Hardy. I'll say what Dark Elf and Chaos Dwarves. Oh yeah, that Hardy. Yeah, I didn't like that either. So to be fair, I hadn't liked much what the vampire had been doing, but so far he's getting away with it all. At least the God of Runner is doing something sensible. If I can try to fix the draw so you can get in division together, McNaughton. I'll see what I can do when I'm fumbling my balls around. Why? Okay, so you're moving one assist, so you have something to bide. But you could... Oh. It's the best show on earth. Everyone likes it. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky moving. On the other hand, it may not actually be that hard. It kind of screams just move, depending on what that dude is. Did he? Okay, so he's biting one of them. It's only a 3+ handoff though. If you can remove those two. And that's a trial going out more. I really don't hate. And got 2 rerolls. I'll definitely. Yeah, that's not going to stop anything. It's a bit tricky, but it's not undoable because of 85. You have some chain push option on that vampire, and you can block the other vampire. I'll probably personally fill those 2 squares, then do the vampire hit here first. Because if it's a knockdown, you can get the trial back. It's a bit ugly. You might even just go for the 1 dice. Actually, the 1 dice with the block straight ahead. If you get that, you could blitz that dude as well to move everybody to the side. Or you can just you can go for that solution. There's a lot of options. I might be tempted to go for the 2 Frowls just because of them being Frowls, but it looks like he's going for my first thing. Ooh. I actually spotted what you could have done instead as well. You could have filled the square down here, and then you could actually have change push the 85 forward on that head. So if you put a resist strip ball there, then you could actually chain push 85 up to there. That could actually have worked as well. But that's good. The 1 dice works, and we could really use the takeout. Damn it. Especially when this not working. It makes it a hell of a lot more 2+ing. But here we go. You may as well just map up down to the first go for it, because you're not stopping. Well, he makes it. Yep. And score. Oh. That is... I'm playing High Elf. I think mine is alright. It's 80. The problem is... I think it's... I think my odds is pretty sensible. Of course it's always 84, so it's... You never know. It's 84 with 86. But I do have 2 Tackle Mighty Blow Pump Blitzers. But we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 vampires versus the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? Yeah. 10 versus 10. 1 vampire rerolls, 2 turns. Rat 2 turns, 2 rerolls.
And I'm back.
You missed the 1-turner not being a 1-turner.
And yet he got it home.
Yeah, he 1-turned the turn after. He got a perfect defense, and the 1-turner
Right.
missed the handoff after he used the reroll on another 1 in 9, I think. But he managed to catch the scattering ball.
Okay.
And
Well, that's good. I mean, this looks a nailed-on draw at worst for Rats here. I'd say they're slightly the more favourite of a win than the Vampires, but obviously it's a 90% draw game at this point.
yeah, it's 10 versus 10. 2 rerolls for the Rats, 1 for the Vampires.
I'm not a believer that with 1 reroll and 2 turns, the Vampires are going to get this over the line. I mean, I've been wrong before. 1987, I think it was.
No, it's and at the same time make sure the ball is... Oh ho ho! And a short kick into blitz. Oh.
Well, and my prediction comes true. Now the Rats are a strong favourite, surely.
Oh my god.
Yep, Soul gets the Crystal Ball Award for this stream, that's for sure. I was hinting that I thought the Rats were favourite, but he flat out said this will be a blitz, so
And
kudos.
And short kick away from the... away from the Vampires.
Yeah, it's the most evil kick of the world, a blitz that's 1 square over the line with nothing anywhere near it, isn't it?
Yeah, his best option is 1 on the catch into a touchback.
Yeah, into a touchback. And surely Eliod's got to be slightly mindful of that touchback chance.
Yeah, it has a risk if we're going back. But I think Eliot can still go full in because the chance of a draw, even if the Vampire scores, is really high.
Yeah, because he's still got that 1-turner.
Yeah, I think you just ignore. I personally will ignore that chance because of the 1-turner. I put that line right up in screen as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Looking at the material he's got available, if it did touch back, it would have been so hard to stop them. So,
yeah.
but of course, it is only a 2+ because whilst you get People think of it as a -1 for an inaccurate or whatever, but it isn't actually. That's a straight agility roll.
Yes.
Most catches are at +1, which is a weird technical thing. Almost everything you do with agility is +1.
Yeah,
So we
that's
think
really
of that
weird,
as a
and
normal, but
it's
actually it isn't.
yeah, and it's weird when you're used to it. It's really hard for new people to understand.
Yeah, it's difficult. So yes, because of the agility 5, that cancels the -1 of catching it without it being accurate. So it was a 2+, and that means 5 out of 6 chances of it not going, and even then, 5 of the 8 spaces it could have bounced to were fine for the rats. So yeah, committing to it fully, I think, is sound.
Yeah,
So
we
those 2
didn't.
rats that stayed a little bit back, perhaps suboptimal positioning.
Oh, bloodless first roll. Ugh. I guess he
Oh,
can.
and everything's going wrong for the vampires right now.
I guess it's not too bad because exactly we kind of won that hypnogaze on that one anyway.
Yeah.
But we're back again. That should one of those 2 rats should have been behind that guy to double screen it.
Well, I mean, with vampires around, you need to put as many bodies in the way as possible because Hypno Cheat is so evil.
Because now it's a straight up hit on the ball.
Yeah.
Um,
And just the more noise, the more traffic you've got in there that the vampires
you
have
should
to
have
cheat their
committed
way
both.
through.
I think you should committed both of them.
Yep, me too. Everything
Yeah,
that was movable should have gone that way, shouldn't it?
yeah, I think so. It's 7 p.m. British time, so in an hour and a half. I'm playing and Elliot would be streaming instead.
Oh, well, if I'm not committed this evening, I'll see if he fancies me coming on and criticising you all game.
Yeah. My Rebel clan match is in an hour and a half. I'm playing with my zones against some high elves with a cheating 86 for.
Oh, that's despicable.
But it's fine. I'd rather had it on the throw than anything else I was about to say on the high elf team.
Yeah, I mean, my high elves that I've talked about before in the White Owl League, I had an agility 6 thrower, and he did virtually everything except throw the ball.
Oh.
At that point, I just abandoned him as throwing mostly and just used him all sorts of nonsense.
Oh, mighty blow pow.
Yeah, that's a worry.
Nope, it's fine. But that's a. That's quite a golden throw-in though. But I'll say,
Yeah.
but
If
the
you
problem.
chose where to put it, it would only be 1 square different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but now it suddenly looks good. He stayed back because that ball is not going to be safe no matter where he puts it.
Okay, but we're talking. Yes, you're right with how it worked out. But if you had 2 more rat bodies in there, that would have been a much harder hit to achieve.
Yes, we have totally agreed.
Against vampires, I want to screen about 15
Yeah, we
players
are
deep.
Saul. I'm just trying to be nice. I think we all agree that he should have committed to players and staying off, not this, because there's also a problem retrieving the ball, because that kind of have to be the same dude, almost. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all if we can get it and get it down. We got the other Gutter Runner there, and we can get at least one Gutter Runner and scoring. Ooh, that's
I was watching some of Fight Soul Fight playing rats the other night, just before I went to bed, which is interesting. I like what you do with your rats, Sol. It's a difficult stream for me to watch, though, because unfortunately, I have to share this with you. You just, to me, sound a little bit like Ben Shapiro, and not a person's voice that I can hear easily. I'm sure you're a much lovelier human.
yeah, PC is purple chest. And Sol is agreeing. He doesn't like him either.
Yeah, I absolutely don't mean to cause offence.
Oh, that's a good pal. Because what is that? 4, 5, 6. So that dude is not scoring.
No.
Can the
Well,
other
that
ones?
feels fair because with the blitz, the rats had this.
Now the rats, I guess, needs to find a good way to get some more. Oh, they need to make sure that the Thrall is not scoring.
Yes, the thrall is the threat, isn't it? So that
Yeah.
needs neutralizing as well.
You might actually pick up with the one-turner. The one-turner can get back under the ball. And then get the two other gutter runners in scoring range instead. I don't hate that option. Yeah, exactly. It will also make it a lot harder for the. And now there's a free. So now the other gutter runner can run over to the other side, get away from as many as possible. I'm not sure he's recognized that the Thrall can actually score.
It's very easy as a vampire coach to overlook your own thralls sometimes, isn't it? But they are technically Blood Bowl players, just completely awful.
It's more
But they are.
Elliot. I was thinking. I think he needs to go for the pickup. Okay, so he's taking the other rat instead.
Yeah. Okay, doing it that way around, yeah.
Yeah.
It's another thing I see way too often to me.
And then, I think you need to go. Come on, go one more. Back behind. Because then you're out of Mighty Blow.
Really.
You're out of strength for Mighty Blow. The string.
But I like the expected up. It's often too tempting to leave.
Why not? Why going that way?
Equity around it.
Oh, it's the. That's the other vampire. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's. Then straight back.
Well, this creates a wonderful opportunity actually for a vampire 2 dice followed by a thrall score, which I mean, if you'd popped him in behind, yes, I know it was into danger in some ways, but it would have made the recovery by the thrall much harder if it did go bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we know he would be basing that dude.
I mean, that said, for the thrall to get there, it's still going to have to 4+, 3+, its way out of where it is. So it's not that dangerous.
No. And he's okay, so going to this time he's going to wrestle the one turn and doesn't get it. Rerolls it, get it.
Yeah, just securing the draw.
But that's fine. But that means the other one is not going to be hit.
No, the other one is still going to have some options, presumably, in some way.
So if nothing else, there's going to be a long pass potentially to the end zone. Yeah, but I think you probably ended up going for the end zone anyway.
Well, even that one turner can get there, can't it? Because it's got sprint.
Oh yeah, one turner. You can always just one turner to the end zone and pass to that. If everything else, and you can
If
blitz
everything
the
else
rest.
fails, there's still that option.
And you can blitz the wrestle free to hand off to get even farther downfield if you want to. If nothing else much happens over here. Yeah, it's really annoying it has a sprint. That's so far away. You just cross the middle line and you can score even laying down.
It's filthy, absolutely filthy.
Oh, phew. You can go for Storm Vermin instead.
That's an option.
That's a 3+2+. I don't hate it. That's a lot of different options. I'm not. From what we're seeing now, it looks like you might see the Storm Vermin. Oh, you 3+ handoff. Oh no, you need to activate first. No, it's not because of Hypnogaze. Yeah, he's deactivated.
Yeah,
so
there
he's
we are.
going.
3+2+, clears off the tackle zone, and now it's a simple handoff, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah,
7.
2+2+.
Handoff and a single go for it.
So it's 2+2+, 3+2+ with a reroll. Surely.
Yeah, that maths myself. 2 go for it's the handoff, and then a go for it.
Can you even pass without interception for that one of those squares? You might actually be able to, because he's not closer than. But if you need to do one of them, you might as well do both. Oh, reroll.
Here we go. It's the tripwire. Tripwire time. And boom! It's a 2-1.
Shakalaka, Mr. Punch.
The only thing missing from that was I'd have liked to have seen the one-turner dead.
Mr. Punch punching it in. Pretty evil blocking. Oh, that was a lot of pushing.